for example, does your pastor shave off his beard and have a clean shaven face? That's against the law of the Bible. Does he have a bald head? That's against the law of the Bible. So how can this man be claiming that he's coming in the name of the Lord, but yet he's not keeping the most basic of commandments? See, when you see loads of people sitting up in the church, did not the Lord say, I'm not going to, you know, the Lord doesn't dwell in temples made of wood and stone. So how is the law going to be found in them church buildings? When Proverbs 1 says wisdom crieth in the streets. The word church goes back to the Greek word ecclesia, which means to call out. See, in the ancient days, the prophets would do what we're doing, stand on the streets and speak of wisdom.
Yeah, because it says, if you love me,
feed my sheep,
keep my commandments. You know, these pastors see them with a shaven face, Lord, they don't really love the Lord because they don't keep on what the Bible says. Laws and commandments. They don't really love the Lord. Right? But going back to what we were saying originally about this sanctuary being a small gathering, it's going to be a small thing. So even though you see the people walking past and they're ignoring us, that's for their own destruction. So you got to think more and more. Then you want to build in with loads of people. You got to think a lot more deeper than that. Right?
The question why I'm asking about the building is about more like teaching the people the do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. Not people like eating balls, shrimps, all of these things is a no. And I think the reason why God said not to eat them because they are poisonous to our body. All these diseases that is going around is because we're eating what He said not to eat. He said you're supposed to be eating on what? Just herbs and veg. That's what we're supposed to eat. But now we're eating every kind of stuff. So I'm saying that if you people that know more, then if there's a building, people come there and they learn more. There's no way that you can teach them, okay, like the feast days, the new year, the moon, what not to do, what to do, stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll tell you something. You can watch at home on your YouTube. You can sit down, get the children to sit there,
that's
put
why
your classes on,
yeah,
and
that's
watch
right.
it. Can I just see? So can I give you the channel for the elders? Because they'll teach you what you need to know. You can do it from your home. Thank you.
I know what you mean. You want like a national police. You can bring it from your children.
You bring more people. You bring people more closer to God. Even people who think of Zoom. Sometimes they don't take it that serious. You understand? Zoom. I mean, when you see somebody face to face, because you respect them, you honor the word of God through them. You understand? So if you make bond, especially with we black people, there's a way we need to come together. Because for me, every time when people say, oh, black people are not together, black people are not together, I say there's one place you need to go to, Deuteronomy 28. When you read the entire verse of Deuteronomy 28, that's where the blessings and curses are there. I say so far, we are following other gods, there's nothing's going to happen until we go back to what He said. That's where He put His blessing. He said, you do this, you get blessed. If you don't do that, this is the curse. So still fast, nobody should blame nobody. If we hate each other, God already told our ancestors before we are born. I remember I told one of my friends, I say, we are saying Christianity. I say, our forefathers, when they came to that place, when they entered there and God gave them the agreement, there was agreement between them and God. The covenant was there and the covenant keep plainly state, this thing I'm saying is not only for you, it's for your generation yet unborn. And they say they accept it. So now we're all suffering because of it. So our forefathers accepted the agreement, the covenant. It was accepted. So we have to follow it until we come to that point.
Proverbs 1 and 20.
It's going to be...
I hate everything that just...
Proverbs 1 and verse 20. Wisdom crieth without.
What?
Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets.
Where?
She uttereth her voice in the streets.
So wisdom is in the streets. So you're going to find out the Most High is really calling onto the men, because, or the sisters too, you're wrong because you're supposed to believe, you have to believe the sisters. But the main thing is brothers. So we're meant to be like the backbone, that body, because it's unto you, O men, I call. That's in Proverbs chapter 7. In fact, hold on. Bear me for a second. It's Proverbs chapter 8, verse 1. Doth not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way in the places of the paths. So wisdom is in the places of the paths, right? That's why we're out here. It says, she cried at the gates and the entry of the city, and the coming in at the doors. Unto you, O men, I call. Right? So, when you see men walking up and down, this woman is crying for her husband, for the men. Right? So this is meant to be out here in the streets. This church, this gathering, the gathering point, this allying point of the men of our people is meant to be out here in the streets. Not in the church or anything like that. Right? So the church is really us. We're that church. It's a spiritual thing. A church is not a building. It's actually a tabernacle, a body. That's the real church. Which is meant to be out here in the streets. And really, if you really believe in this, right? Our Lord coming back with power and great glory, you buy a little church here and stand out here in the streets with us, man. If you really believe, if you were like this thing is real, you'd be like, I'm gonna buy a little 12-pound little fold-up chair and be with the brothers in the street, right? In the blistering cold. If you really believed that this was gonna happen, if you really believed it, and it said like, no, I need to cherish this treasure. Because it's treasure. This wisdom is like treasure. You can't find this anywhere. If you really value this, you'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice a little portion of my life, you know.
Yes. Forsake some comforts just to get the truth.
Yeah, to get that woman. Now Jacob was 7 years. He sacrificed 7 years of his life just to get. And really, you wind up with the one that he really didn't really want.
Yeah.
You wind up with Leah.
So you had to spend.
And really, that was wisdom. Because this wisdom, when we're honest, we don't look attractive. We look all lazy-eyed. But that's the one that he's supposed to get first. Get understanding. All you're getting, get heart first. If you really wanted this, if you really wanted the kingdom and the glorification to come, you have to give up your life, your whole way of your whole lifestyle. What they say? You have to give up your what they say? What they say in the scriptures?
What he that seeks to save his life shall lose it, but he that loses
You
his
got
life
to
will
get a scripture, get a scripture. You got to lose your life in order to gain the kingdom and deliverance to come. If you really believe in it, if you really have faith in it, you'd be like, I know a so-called black man is going to come back with power and great glory.
I got you.
And the scripture says, every eye shall see him. Everyone's going to look up in this and see a great so-called UFO that will cover up the face of the whole sky. And everybody, all these people that don't believe, they're all going to look up. They're going to be like, everything's going to be at a standstill.
Yep. The day the earth stood still.
And that's when you know that you invested your time well. You're like, listen, I invested my time well. Even though I felt uncomfortable. I did it for a greater reward.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Mark 8 verse 35. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it. But whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it.
Read that again.
Mark 8 verse 35 again. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it.
If you try to save your life, you look after money and look after car, look after different properties and high-paying jobs. If you try to save your life, you're going to wind up losing.
But whosoever shall lose by, for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it.
You have to lose your life.
Thank you very much. We're gonna go see my mom now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Look,
So, make it work. You want to sit down, you know, gather
she wants
together.
comfortability.
Yeah.
That's what's supposed to be. Oh, man.
My voice is to the sons of men. I got a precept because we were talking about Rachel and Leah. This is we were talking about the fig tree. This is Matthew 7 at verse Matthew 7 verse 16. You shall know them by their fruits. The men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good
By corruption, bring forth evil fruit. Right? You got corrupted, it was Rachel.
yeah,
She got made barren.
yeah,
And she could bring forth no fruit. But the one that was never thought of have won the crown, which is Leo. The Most High opened her. The one that you never thought. Niggas, you see out here, man, looking all foolish and shit. Right? Huh. They're gonna be the ones that gonna gain the crown.
yeah.
TD fakes.
What's that?
Eddie knows us folks. He's dead now. Right? Creflo dollar, creep low for your dollar. Right? They were the ones that were thought of.
Yeah.
And they looked for the game to come.
That's all they can do when they're talking, though. Mock the sweat off their head and start hacking you.
Right? Real talk. Real, man.
Right, so it says, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
The tree that don't bring forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into nuclear destruction. Has America brought forth good works?
No, not one.
Has the so-called white man's world brought forth good works? It must be cut down and cast into
the
nuclear
fire.
destruction. That's why that man had to be. That's a man.
That's a weirdo, man. I was thinking it was that man or woman.
That's why he had to walk. As soon as he said white man,
Yeah.
he had to walk his arm down.
Delete me.
Delete me!
I don't want to be a part of this conversation.
Don't worry, you won't. You won't, man. You won't be a part of this way of life. You won't be destroyed. I'm telling you. That's crazy.
So going back to Rachel and Leah, back in Genesis, Rachel wasn't, we're not saying that she was wicked, but at that time, the Most High didn't allow her to conceive because she had to be humble. She had to go through that humility of seeing everybody else, because jumping forward in the story,
That's deep.
imagine that, right? Because let me just speak for a second. Women in the ancient world, having children was what women wanted to do. That was their honor. So seeing her younger sister seeing her elder sister who was despised bring forth children first must have cut her to the bone. Then all the handmaids also brought forth children before she did. Now you also said that one that was never thought of won the crown. It was Judah that came from Leah. Remember? So Judah being the head tribe, Leah was the one who brought him forth through Jacob. So she got that blessing. That's why Judah's name is Yahweh, Yahweh thanks. Leah gave thanks to Yahweh.
What country you from?
Hey,
What country
saying, I'm just saying,
You're what?
I'm saying,
Oh, you're just seeing.
What?
You said it's just seeing.
You just see it? Oh, okay. What country you from?
huh?
What country are you from?
Ecuador.
Well, Spain, I ain't
Ecuador.
Yeah, I think that's Africa. Yeah.
You're an Israelite. One of our people. We're the same people.
Yeah.
You know, the Native Americans. He was conquered by the conquistadors and the Spaniards. Yeah, so he was also conquered by the so-called white man. So I'm saying, as a man, I'm sure it's as happy as the man that see the fall of his enemies. Because we're in a time where our enemies are ruling. Let's keep it real. Like the so-called white man, they're ruling right now. But the time's gonna come when they will fall. And we're gonna rule over them. That's what I say. It's vengeance sweet, and the Most High, vengeance belongs to Him. So He's gonna allow us to see the fall of our enemies. Get them. That's an important thing.
Yeah. Happy is the man that lives in sin.
one question, what is your what both believe? What both believe? A religion, for example, what both believe?
Where is this religion?
Yeah.
We teach that so-called black people and Native American people, we are Israelites. We're the people of the Bible. We're the same people. There's 12 tribes. And you're of our people. We're the same people. We're together. Right? We have the same ancestor. His name was Jacob. And the ancestor of the Native Americans, because you dwell in America, the Mexicans, the Chickasaw, the Sioux, different tribes of the Native Americans. The Mexicans and the people of Chile, Brazil, we're one people, and the people of West Africa, the so-called black people, we're together. You know, but we suffered together in America. We're in the ghetto, we're in the reservation camp, we're together, we're one people. And our enemy is the so-called white man. Our enemy is the so-called white man. You know, it's not a negative thing. We're both men. It's the truth. You know, you have to acknowledge the truth. So you know something?
Yeah, this is Surah 25, starting at verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy. The 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Yes, sir.
Surah 25 and 7 again. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath the joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
There's 9 things. Right? There's 9 things that a man counts to be happy. And what they say?
And the 10th I will utter with my tongue.
And the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man what?
That hath joy of his
A
children.
man that has joy of his children. And then the other one,
It's he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
to see the fall of his enemy. Do you have any idea what your people suffered from? When the so-called white man came to conquer your people, and to destroy your people, to take their land. Your people suffered, man. But happy shall you be to see the fall of your enemy. That's the fall of your enemy. Nuclear destruction. Happy shall you be. Right? That's a man, right? So the Bible's teaching us how to be men.
Yeah. Johnson
Right?
Deuteronomy 28.
But right now, to be a real man in this world, you gotta be persecuted. If you try to be a man the whole world will look at you like you're the enemy. That's how the world will look at you, like you're evil. If you try to be a man, you'll be looked at you're evil. And you're the bad guy. You know what I mean? The women, your family, they'll turn against you. If you try to stand up for the truth, for what's right. For what's right. Your girlfriend's gonna look down at you. Your family gonna come against you. Your friends, the world will come against you. Because you try to stand up for the truth. What's right? But it's right, it's like. But the people there, they're weak. They're weak, that's why they try to look at you like you're bad. Because they're weak. They want you to be weak like them. But it's like, no, you're gonna stand up for what's right. Come on now.
I got Deuteronomy 28, a nation of fierce countenance. Do you want that?
What?
You know Deuteronomy 28, that the Lord shall send a nation of fierce countenance.
Bring it out.
Right, this is Deuteronomy 28, and starting at verse 48. It says, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he hath destroyed thee. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in the want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck,
right,
until he hath destroyed thee.
So you're gonna serve your enemies. Right? When the brother is ready, you're gonna serve your enemies. Right now we're serving our enemies. Remember, it's happy, we're going to see the fall of them.
Right.
But right now, we have to serve them. But the time is going to come when we're going to see their fall. And that's the good news. That's the gospel. That's what Christians don't get. These same people in the churches, they don't understand that that's the good news. We're going to see the fall of our enemies. But right now, we're serving our enemies for the want of everything. For petrol, for food, for clothes, for housing, for basic needs like the principal things like water. You have to buy water. Imagine that. We the Israelites have to buy water from these heathens that are beneath us. We're supposed to be over these other nations of people. Like, you have to understand, as Israelites, we're supposed to be above all nations of people. East Indians, the Chinese, the Arabs, right? We're so-called white people. We're supposed to be over them. But now, we're in a time where the very same principle things that water and wood is being sold onto us. This whole world is made for our sake. So why is wood and basic needs being sold onto us, man? Right?
So our principal enemy is Babylon.
Huh?
Babylon is the enemy, we can say.
Babylon is the enemy.
Our principal enemy is the so-called white. Right? Because he's the one in power.
All this world.
Huh?
He has the power of all this world.
Yes.
And we are serving God.
Yeah.
But for the purpose that later we're going to get instruction for that enemy. We can say
Right.
that. I understand what that is.
Yeah.
It's going to be destruction for that enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not in vain what we are suffering now.
Right now we're suffering now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going
Yeah.
to
Exactly. Yeah. Right?
That's good.
But the good news is saying that, listen, we're going to rule over them in the future kingdom to come. In the world to come, we're going to rule over them. Us, our people. our people. Right? We're going to rule over our enemies and over all that's hated us.
Revelation 2, starting at verse 25. But that which ye have already hold fast until I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father.
Read that again.
Revelation 2, starting at verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
What do you have? This truth, this knowledge.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
What?
And to he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Right, we're going to have power. The Lord is going to give us power over the nations. The Chinese, the East Indians, the Arabs. The Lord, the Most High will give us power over them. Remember, all these nations hate our people. They look down on us. Right? They look down on us. But the Lord, if we hold this truth, this knowledge fast, He will give us power over them. Happy shall be him that he see the fall of his enemy. Come on.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
Read that last part.
And it says, as the vessel, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father.
That's Revelation
25 and down.
Look up the word rod in the Google.
Carried away. It's so cool what you explained to me. I understand.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
You can understand it.
I understand. You explain it clear, you know. That's good. And I know what they just proposed to explain that this is not in vain or what we are suffering now. No, but so personally, first of all, thanks for your message, we can say. And I can, well, I see all what they have. I see amazed at that. It's like a lot of information. I know that both study the Bible, I suppose, the 12 tribes of Israel. For example, I also study the Bible.
Oh yeah.
I also study the Bible. I study Moses, Joshua.
Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, they were serving a God, and they were like in war, we can say, with other nations, Babylon, and there was a lot of we can say, bad things, not bad. They always trusted God. They always think that it's not in vain because of God. They are going to give the other nations for us to be a good, because we are in hands of God. That I understand in the Bible, and the good news about Jesus, about all that thing that He died for us. For later come with that like a kingdom, right? Protecting us for the enemy later. Go down with the faith. And that's what I understand. That's what I study the Bible and all that thing. Good. So brothers, I'm going now to another playback. Good.
Every Thursday, the name of the Most High is Yahweh, and the son's name is Yahweh Shai.
In the Hebrew.
In Hebrew, the language that our ancestors spoke together. Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
So see you, buddy.
Take care.
Thanks for us. God bless you.
You too, man. Take care, man.
See you.
Take care.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I like that.
See, and that's a good example of why we say who the 12 tribes are. because that brother there was from the northern kingdom, then he could receive this word. And only someone who is an Israelite can receive this word. Because you saw the example of the fucking Edomite woman. I don't think I want to be part of this conversation. Could you delete me, please?
She's the devil, man.
That's what I'm saying. She couldn't. You can't talk to an Edomite the way we just edified that.
They're a deaf adult. They don't want to hear that. They're a deaf adult. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear this. We're charming never so wisely with this wisdom, but the wicked, they're estranged right from the womb. They ain't right.
That's right. The spirit that is in them is not upright in them.
They're estranged right from the womb. When they're,
As soon as the seeds conceive.
as soon as they conceive and they're growing in the womb, that's when there was a struggle.
That's right. Jacob had to preach this
Jacob,
as well.
there was a struggle because Esau was estranged
From
right
the
from the womb. So when Jacob was born, he was no stranger. He was known of the Most High. He was like, who this motherfucker get born next to me?
Yeah.
Who is this motherfucker? I don't know him. No. That's how Rebecca had to go to a prophet, man. Find out what the hell is going on here. But that's going back to the point, you know. The Edomite woman, she couldn't get it because she was wicked. She was a strange right from the womb.
Wisdom will not enter into a malicious soul.
Right. But that brother here, I can sense he was good, but he needs to come back next week, man. That's what he needs to do, man. Right?
That's right. You wanted me to get the word rod. You still want it? Or?
Right. We're on the word rod.
Right, so the word rod in Revelation 22,
2 verse
20
25.
225 on down. The word rod there,
Wait, no. Let's get it straight because we're going to bring out the wrong thing. Revelation 2 verse 27.
right,
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. Look at the word rod in that verse.
I've got it. The word rod in that verse is rabados, and it means a staff or a walking stick, a twig, a rod, branch, a rod which one is beaten. So like it, a rod with which one is beaten, a staff used as on a journey or to lean upon by shepherds. When applied to kings with a rod of iron, indicates the severest and most rigorous rule. Let's read that again. The word rod, when applied to kings,
When the word rod was applied to kings, which we will be, Lord willing,
yep,
but the elect will be indefinitely.
yep, with a rod of iron indicates the severest and most rigorous rule. A royal scepter. So
The most severest and most rigorous, the most
we're gonna have to beat these nations into shape, man.
You so-called white people, I'm so sorry for you. I'm crying to you.
I want to be deleted.
I'm so sorry for what's going on, man.
I ain't gonna lose no sleep over it. Oh, that ties in with
Sorry, but I'm not sorry. No,
Yeah.
Hey, you so-called black people. Don't pray for white. Don't pray for them.
We're not black.
Don't
No,
pray
we're
for
not
them.
black.
I'm not black. I just say I'm black. I'm an Israelite.
Black.
We're brown.
I'm black.
Our skin is brown.
I'm black.
Right. But we're Israelites. Right. Don't pray for white people, man. You don't know the severest rule. The most A-class severe rule. Not a shot of mercy. They're holding hands with the wicked. Hey. Don't you know what's coming for them? The Lord is going to turn us into monsters, man.
yeah.
We're going to do such things that has never been recorded into the annals of history. We're going to do things that have never been spoken of. The most severest rule. No rule equivalent to the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, the Babylonian Empire, and the Syrian Empire.
Latinos. Colombia. Cuba. Are they all?
Remember, there's 12 tribes.
Do you guys, when you're here, can I ask you, when you're here, do you guys let them know that? You know, when they, because there's a lot.
We just had a
of
guy come up a
Latinos.
few minutes ago.
Yeah, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's in Carmel and Brixton, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So it's not
Colombians, the Ecuadorians,
Yeah.
Peruvians, the Brazilians, a lot of
All right, guys. On the next one.
Yeah.
How much we all share? I do the shopping. Let's start the money. Yeah.
Now,
May I say something about the shop? On a simple level, that might just seem like some random guy coming up and asking a question. But the Spirit of the Lord put that question in that man's mouth. Because we were just edifying that young brother who's come up
Right.
from Ecuador.
Right.
And he asked the question, you've got a lot of Latinos, do you edify them? So that was, this might not be for him, but that was the Most High saying, yeah, you're doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's spiritual.
See? So that's the Spirit. The Lord put a spirit upon that guy and say, you're approving the Ecuadorians,
Yep.
you're approving the Cubans and the Colombians there. Because a lot of them are paying you know.
yeah.
You have to tell them to you.
See, he woke up this morning, right? And the Most High put that in his mind when he was sleeping. He woke up, yeah, I'm just going to do my day. And he's going about doing this thing, but the Spirit compelled him to ask that question. He doesn't even know why he asked it.
Right.
But the Most High set him up for that. But you were saying something before. What was you saying before?
I'm speaking of something white people are fucked up.
Oh, yeah. What we're going to do to them is not going to, hasn't been recorded in the annals of history.
Right.
Yeah. I was announcing when I was going to get Genesis 49. Not Genesis, Psalms 149. Bear with me.
Happy shall he feel to see the fall of his enemies.
Yep. Precept. Psalms 149, if I may. Praise ye Yahweh. Sing unto Yahweh a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king.
You're an Israelite. You're an Israelite man, your children. You got time for the Bible? You got time for the Bible? You're an Israelite according to the Bible. You read the Bible, you're reading about the history of God. You understand it? You know about us, the Israelites? You know about us? What you really think in the church? So, you know, you really want to understand the Bible itself or Christianity, there was all people. You know, like the founding fathers, like Peter, dark-skinned black men. You understand that, like, the Lord thinking of Jesus Christ was actually a black man. All people, like the word niggas in the Bible. You know, Acts 13 or whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
You're really reading about yourself, like the Bible is extremely important. It tells us about the things that's going to happen. Prophecy. It's time.
Right, this is Acts chapter 13, starting at verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas, Acts 13 and 1 again. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which brought up Herod, which brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. It's like
Read that again.
Acts 13:1 again. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch.
Antioch is in Turkey. Look at the country of Turkey. Antioch is there.
Certain prophets and teachers,
Certain prophets and teachers that was
as Barnabas and Simeon
Barnabas and Simeon was among them.
that was called Niger.
That was called Niger. So Barnabas and Simeon were doing basket. They were being called Niger. Niger, N-I-G-E-R, which is Latin. It's a Latin word for being black. Or nigger. That's where nigger was from the word Niger. Or Nigeria. You are people. Same. So Barnabas and Simeon, they were called niggers.
Barnabas and Simeon that were called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene,
So Lucius of Cyrene, Cyrene is in North Africa.
and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul.
And Saul, so even Paul himself,
Was among
they were being called niggers. You hear Paul, the Apostle Paul, he was being called a nigger in Antioch. Right? So when you read about the Bible, you read about different epistles that Paul wrote, these are all written by niggers, Negroes. Right? So the church is not bringing out this information. So you have to be they're really standing by the white Jesus. Give me Revelations 1 and 13. Basic principles. Listen, this is very important to understand this information. Ultimately, they're telling you what's in the heart.
Ready? This is Revelation chapter 1, starting from the 13th verse. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet were like unto fine brass, as if they had burned in a furnace.
Read that from verse 13.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
Son of Man. Jesus Christ, right?
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
He had a garment down to his foot.
and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So he had a golden girdle. Girdle that was worn around his waist.
His head and his hairs were white like wool,
His hair was woolly. Like our hair. This brother's hair is woolly.
as white as snow,
So his hair was white, like grey hair. You know,
and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
why? Because he drank wine. So you can drink wine. Because they said he was a wine drinker.
Yeah.
In Matthew chapter 11, they said he was a wine drinker, meaning he was like an alcoholic. The Lord Jesus Christ, did they tell you that in church? He was into wine. He was into that wine, into the alcohol.
Give strong drink to him who's about to perish.
Right, because the Lord knew that he was going to be crucified. He knew that he was going to die for the sins of our people. So it says, give what?
Give strong drink to him that is ready to perish. I can paraphrase it.
Right, let me get this one. It says, Proverbs 31, verse 6, give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
Yeah. He was the man that created the grief and sorrow.
You have to understand the one who you praying to. He was the son of death. You're praying for him. In this world, we're taught to hate him. You know? He's, you know, he ain't shit.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't shit. But the one you're praying to is a nigga.
The most powerful man in the universe. Under the Most High himself.
This world teaches that niggas ain't shit. But you're praying to a nigga. So the white man's taught us to teach that we ain't shit. But yet we're supposed to be praying. It's okay. Give strong drink that seed that ready to perish. God said he was going to die, he was going to perish for the sins of our people. That's why I said that what his eyes were like two flames of fire. Because his eyes were red, bloodshot. Bloodshot. Because he on the bottom. This real quick. So Matthew chapter 11, verse 19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking. And they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bibber. The man was a wine bibber. He's a wino, he's like an alcoholic. A friend of publicans and sinners, but wisdom is justified of her children. So that explains Revelations bring out.
Yeah, it says
This is real Bible study.
Revelation 1:14 again. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow,
Right?
and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Does it mean like he has spirit? What do you have spiritual power?
Yeah.
But what do you mean that his eyes were red? Like when you drink wine, what happens? Your eyes go red. Come on.
Yep. And his feet were as fine brass,
His feet were like what?
fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
That's how dark his feet were. And when you take off your shoes, you take off your socks, you look at your feet. That they were put in a furnace, in the dark side, the melanin. That's how dark he was. Lord, you can't. When you learn this, you can't go to these churches, man.
Yeah, you've got to come out of that.
You can't continue it because it's not the truth. So we won't be free. And when you come in this truth, you're going to find out that the whole world is going to come against you. You're going to find that your family, your friends, the people that you know in church, they're going to come against you. Because you have to be strong to stand up for the truth. The truth is controversial. The truth is
Slow for them.
huh?
The truth is
It's
still
ill.
Yeah, I mean.
Have you seen this?
How'd you get that?
What did she say?
Get Isaiah. You know what that is, man. Yeah, that's an Isaiah. Let me get that. Fine, let me get that. I'll go. Focus on what you're doing. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe to them that call evil good, right? And good evil. That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to them that call evil good, man. So what's evil? The Cesare Borgia, that's evil. The white man with the blonde hair and the blue eyes, that's good. A lot of our people in Africa worship that. We've got a big ass the biggest statue of Jesus Christ is in Nigeria right now. I believe I went there. The Roman Catholic Church is in Lagos. A big statue of the Son of God. A lot of people are worshiping that image. And you wonder why people are so fucked up. Some people got demons on us, man. We don't know our worth. If we knew this truth, we realize that this time, this rulership that we're in, is not for our people. It's for them. It's for our enemies. It was built for them. So we gotta kind of separate ourselves and say we wait for the world to come. Kingdom and rulership to come. Because this rulership is going to be destroyed. So tyrannical is going to be destroyed. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 where it says, the earth abideth forever.
Gotcha, yeah.
I know we're saying a lot there. Right? It's your sister, because you're of our people. You're supposed to teach her. Ecclesiastes 1.
Gotcha, Florida. Well, Ecclesiastes 1 verse 4, it's like one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
The earth is yours. The earth isn't going to explode, everybody dies, the earth is always going to be there. Right? So what's going to happen is there's going to be a change of leadership. One generation goeth, one generation passeth away, and another generation comes. That's in 2nd Ezra chapter 6. It says Esau is the end of the world.
Jacob, you get in. Got it?
Yeah. Because what is the generation that's going to pass away? There. See, she knows it. Yeah, I like that.
2nd Ezra 6, starting about verse 7. And it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the passing asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? Genesis chapter, okay. 2nd Ezra 6, starting at verse 7. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times?
When shall be the parting asunder of the times?
Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac. When Jacob and Esau were first born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world.
What?
For Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Esau is the end of this time, this age. And Jacob is the beginning. We're going to inherit the kingdom of God. But first, this world, this age, must be destroyed. This whole Third World War is going to result in the end of this man's rulership. And then what's going to happen is that when the Lord comes back and delivers us, and with the right man through his UFOs, that's how the Lord in clouds of heaven. That's how our Lord is returning to visit this earth. It might sound crazy, but there was a movie called what's that movie? That movie. N-O-P-E. There's a movie that just recently came out. It's called No. You see that we're looking up in the sky. They see like a UFO. You must have seen it, man. But the first time,
Maybe a better example of the Independence Day. People are more familiar with that. With Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
When the spaceships are coming,
Yeah.
that's all from the Bible.
Yeah.
Because the chariots are known as clouds.
Yeah, that's one of like the secular worldview. It kind of just imitates stuff from the Bible and
There
do
you
it
go.
like reverse. So like all the Avengers stuff, that's like
Spiritual
God
power.
stuff, but they put it in reverse. So like full coming down, that's basically an imitation of the Son of Man coming down.
Yes. Your point with that.
it's the movie No.
Oh, I've seen like the advertisement.
Yeah. They're showing you in that movie these different movie directors in Hollywood. They know the truth.
Yeah.
So they put it in their movies.
They put like the truth and like sort of like show like it down like people. like they were doing film people, like make people stuff. So if you put it out there, like people will come like sensitive.
Oh. Let's see that cloud there. They know that the Lord is coming back with what? Clouds of heaven. The so-called UFOs. Get that in our Matthew 24, verse 30. That's how our Messiah, the so-called black man, you bloodshot eyes, you drink wine, he's gonna come back drunk.
Yep.
He's gonna be drunk and killing our enemies. This is what I'm saying, when you come to this truth, I'm out so crazy. The whole family won't tell against you, the world won't tell against you. But that's the persecution. It's gonna be persecution.
Matthew 24, starting at verse 30, says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory."
Read that part again.
Matthew 24 and verse 30 once more. "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven."
There
And-
shall be a sign of the Son of Man in heaven, meaning the sky. Come on.
"And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn,
All the tribes of the earth shall mourn. Come on.
and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory."
All these different tribes and nations of people, they're going to mourn when they see our Lord coming back in the so-called UFOs. And he's going to come with power and great glory. This is our faith. This is the turning point in the advent. This is how we're going to be saved. This is how we're going to be delivered. We're going to be beamed up into these chariots. Yeah? From what? The great nuclear destruction. The second death. You know,
Reading on, it says, "And then shall he send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the heaven unto the other."
is that it?
Yet now learn the parable of the fig tree.
No, read it from the
31 again.
Yeah.
"And then shall he send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet."
So from the chariots there's going to be a trumpet. A great ram's horn. You can imagine the sound of that trumpet.
Yeah, deep rooted.
That deep, like that like you know, that long sound.
Yeah, like the guys who play when they're going to war, they play the horn,
Yeah.
and they'll be like beating the drums. That's going to be the sound of the
Yeah.
coming destruction, man.
That's why when you watch The Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, it's a good example.
and you see the riders of Rohan.
I know no idea.
I know the riders. That's the third one.
Yeah,
The third
Return
Lord
of
of
the
the
King.
Rings.
Return of the
If you've
King.
seen it. You also third Lord of the Rings. You see the riders of Rohan, and they're gonna ride and charge the orcs.
yeah,
Because they're trying to fight against what's that? The city of men.
Yeah.
Gondor. They're trying to fight against Gondor, right? And then the riders of Rohim, they sounded that horn. It says sound the horn,
yeah,
sound that horn,
yeah.
and then they rode and charged the orcs, man. They're showing you that the trumpet. Read that again. The trumpet.
And that's spiritual because the film's called Return of the King. How it
Right.
shines eternally.
Oh, the return of the.
Right.
Who's the return? Who's the real king? Hamashai. The one you call Jesus Christ. He's the king.
Yeah.
The Hamashai, the ancient Hebrew. Coming up.
Matthew 24 and 31 again. "And then shall his angels send the great." Let me start again. "And then shall he send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet,
Great sound of a trumpet.
and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven unto the other."
Right. So when that great sound of the trumpet comes out of chariots, the great chariots, man. That's when what we're gonna be delivered of. That's how we're going to be saved. That's our salvation. See, the Christians, they'll talk about salvation, but they won't tell you how you're going to be saved.
And for
They don't,
what?
they don't tell you what you're going to be saved from. And they don't tell you how you're going to be saved. They don't go into these specifics. They don't know. They don't have these secrets. Give me Amos 3 verse 7, man.
Can't.
12 and verse 6. They don't understand these. And read this milk.
They don't teach you that so-called Jesus, who everybody loves, he's the one you need to be saved from because he's coming to destroy. He's coming to not peace on earth but a sword. So sweet Jesus, who they were singing all these songs about, if you ain't right with him, he's going to destroy you. Amos 3 and 6 is a right. Amos 3 starting at verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
Read that from verse 6 again.
Amos 3 and 6 again. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Right, so when that trumpet is blown, people are supposed to be afraid. It's a call for war. You know that trumpet, people be like, going to their house, that martial law. One comes a great trumpet, the sound of the so-called UFOs, unidentifiable flying objects. So that great sound, Jesus says, all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. They're going to be afraid when they hear that trumpet. Then what's going to happen?
Right, so it says, let's go back. Right, Amos 3 and 6 once again. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it?
If there's any evil done in the city, it's the Lord that does it. Car crashes, any deaths, it's the Most High that does these evils in the city.
Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
These secrets, these mysteries, revealed unto us, the prophets. Like, I don't know if you know anything about the Israelites. You know about something. Right, because it's not just me and this brother. There's brothers in New York, there's brothers in Jamaica, there's a brother out there in Nigeria, there's a brother out there in Tanzania, Germany, Holland, Australia, and we all is gathering where that church is being comprised together. Right, with all that bricks and different stones is being put together to formulate that building. The Holy Spirit is the Holy Spirit. You understand? The building is not physical. The building is a spirit, it's us. It's us. We're that church. And when you look at the word church, it means to call out. Ecclesia, which means to call out. So, where is wisdom? Where is wisdom? Proverbs 1 and 20.
This is Proverbs chapter 1 starting at verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words.
Yeah, so wisdom is in the streets. Right, so this is where the real church that you're supposed to be following is supposed to be out here in the streets. Right? Not in a comfortable building where there's something in there, not the comfortability of your friends you know, and our family relatives. That's what the real church is really out here in the streets. It's talking about wisdom. cries aloud in the streets. Okay? So really calling on to the men of our people. Obviously you have believing sisters too. But it's the ones that mainly out here teaching and reproving our people are supposed to be because of that man, the so-called black man and the Hispanic and Latino man. The 12 tribes.
Right, back in Proverbs 1:20.
So when you say you're from Sierra Leone, Uganda, East Africa, the Israelites, Congolese, certain different tribes of that's Zimbabwe, Zambia, Zimbabwe, West Africa,
Okay, ready?
Jamaicans, the Haitians, right? So you can say that we were scattered all over this earth. But if you know about that verse, we were scattered. Israelites will be scattered because we sinned against our God.
Proverbs 1:20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets.
Right?
She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates, in the city, she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
How long are you going to love simplicity? Our people, we love simplicity. We love Netflix,
Netflix and chill,
and cars, and money, and clothes, and consumerism, and everything, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. Our people love simplicity. But how long are you going to love them? Because it's all going to come to an end in the nuclear destruction. And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate. You hate knowledge. Because this world is not about knowledge, it's all about pleasure. Coming up.
Turn ye at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you.
God is making known his words unto you. You have like a man. A man. Yeah. Yeah. Huh?
I live with my parents.
How old?
22.
22.
Right, it says, turn ye at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and ye refused, because I have stretched up my hand, and no man regarded.